y'all think. Fuck everything that you say about me. My dogs like to play Madden and 2K, but one thing they don't do is play about me. My homeboy Tyler, he playing South Beach. He told me this summer he gon' fix my jumper. I told Boy Wonder that we might got a thumper. I've been trying to pop, now I'm on like Shumper. Now they on my bumper. Green room chock full of all my comforts. Hotel room like heaven on earth. Got angels in my bed with some all white covers. Ace Pro Nemo, Lucci and Kiso, Slew Clay Tufo, and I got a few more I call my brothers. I got a lot of flows and they all like butter. Ooh, you know what that means. I can't
Mic check, mic check.
I'm about to globe trot when they know a vaccine. Motherfuckers act lost, but they know exactly what's on. Made a mill and I don't know
What is going on? What's going on, guys? It is a March 30th, a Wednesday. Huge slate today. No show last night, so we'll be breaking down today's games. This will be quick and sweet. Try to make this very concise. Only gonna break down the games that I'm playing, and if anyone else has any questions, we could kind of go through some of the other games if we have time. For these day streams, I got to make these quick, guys, because I work during the day, so just gonna do these on my break. Just a quick recap of yesterday. We went 1-2 for the show. We made I forgot what games we had yesterday. 1 second, guys. Who do we have yesterday? We had Washington. That was a strong play for me, taking +3 at home. We had a 1.5 units on that. It had a lot of strong points for us to back the Wizards in that spot. But at the end of the day, guys, Wizards are a pretty bad team, so they could lose at to anybody anytime. It's kind of like Portland, not as bad, but Portland's breaking a lot of betting systems because there are spots where Portland should be good, but they're just a bad team to get blown out by anybody. We were fading the Bulls, just a very tough spot for Bulls on the road. I think it was the right read. Just unfortunate. Bulls seem to be motivated to win their last game on the road, so tough loss there. And then we had the Milwaukee Bucks +1.5 on the road. That one was pretty competitive as expected, but Milwaukee closed the game, and Sixers they kind of fell off in that fourth period. So nice little win there, for one unit. And then late edition added the Jazz -2 later in the evening. I took a little deeper dive in that game. I really like the Jazz in that spot with Gobert, and their last game on the road usually is a fade spot, but similar to why the Bulls won. Some of these teams, if they've had a long road trip and it's been a pretty terrible one, sometimes they will be motivated to win that last game. It's usually the better to fade the team on the last game if they had a very good road trip. Like say if they won like 4 games and they're on their 5th game of the road trip, usually a good fade spot. So we lose there. Man, Utah was up by like 20 plus at one point, guys, and maybe I should have took a little deeper look at the tickets and handles, because Jazz was taking a lot of the money there on the nationally televised game, last game of the slate. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but man, sometimes it's a bit fishy. So we lose there, but if you're following the Twitter, we did take Clippers second half as to try to middle it, and good thing we did. So there goes that. Yeah, we go we go 1-2 yesterday, -1.75 units. I don't have an updated record on tap, but we are just falling a little below 50 units for the season, and about 46 units year to date. Plus 46 units year to date, excuse me. So let's move on, guys. I'm going to make this quick. What's up, Danny? What's up, James? Bulls had motivation. Yes, 100%. And let's start off by Dallas going into Cleveland, guys. Dallas is laying -1.5 on the road, and I'll let you guys know this right now. I am on Cleveland, taking as a short home dog. Cleveland's coming to this game 39-32 ATS, 0-5 the last 5, 2-7 the last 2-7-1 the last 10. So Cleveland, they were known to be an ATS machine early in the season, but they've kind of fell off. I think the markets have adjusted, and as you could see, the Jared Allen injury is pretty big on them. They've lost the 3 straight before winning in Orlando or at home against Orlando last game. Did not cover the big number. And then on the other side of the board, we got Dallas coming into this game 43-32 ATS, 4-1 the last 5, 6-4 the last 10. Dallas has been doing pretty well at ATS. They've been covering the last couple games. They're 4-5 their last 5. Big win against the Lakers in Utah. They're actually not that big of a win. Last team that's above 500 and notable is, well, they beat Utah and then they lose to Minnesota. And before that, they did beat Minnesota and they did beat Houston. So I think Dallas's recent level of competition is not as high as Cleveland's. Cleveland, outside of Orlando, they had to play Chicago, Toronto. They lose to the Lakers, but that was a weird spot where LeBron James was going back to Cleveland. They win Detroit. They beat Denver. They lost to Philly. So they've been playing some very, very good teams. So I like Cleveland here. We have to look at like who's motivated in this game. Cleveland is more motivated to win this game than Dallas. I think this game doesn't really change much for Dallas in the standings. Cleveland is in that kind of play-in position right now. So I think every win does matter for these boys. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take Cleveland here +2 for 1 unit. Another quick note, Dallas, they're 1-4 ATS last 5 road games. Haven't been playing well on the road. Cleveland does have the rest advantage. This is going to be Dallas's 4th game in 6 nights. And yeah, I don't think the motivation is there for Dallas. Some key injuries. Mobley is out and Dinwiddie's out for today's game. And man, I wouldn't be surprised. Last minute they sit out Luka. So watch out for the injury report because Dallas is coming off a back-to-back. And just a quick overview where the money's at. 1 second. So currently Dallas holds 76% of the tickets, but only 41% of the money. So we got big bettors and maybe sharp money on Cleveland. They hold 59% of the money, but only 24% of the tickets. So I like Cleveland here, guys. We're going to make this one official for 1 unit. All right, what we got next? No, I don't unit track. So all my personal plays like props, second halves, parlays, I don't track those. Those are all posted on Twitter. All my official plays, those are the only thing I track, and those are all tracked on Reddit. But I believe I track my second half plays on Action Sports. So if you want the numbers for that, I can give it to you. Second half plays, I've been doing pretty well. We got Charlotte laying 3.5 here, going into New York, Madison Square Garden. Let's see what we got for this game. I have the Hornets -3.5. I made this one official, guys, and almost was not too thrilled about taking them just because they're going up against the Knicks. Knicks kind of have had our number recently. When we try to bet them, they let us down, and when we try to fade them, they tend to step up. But I noticed a pattern. Every time I did fade them, Randall was out of the lineup. Every time I did back them, and this is lately, Randall was in. Right? So Randall is playing this game, and we are going to fade them. New York coming off a big win at home against Chicago, 36-40 ATS for the season, 3-2 their last 5, 6-4 the last 10. Hornets coming in here 41-33 ATS, 2-3 the last 5, 6-4 the last 10. Hornets have been playing pretty good, guys. They have you could tell these guys are pretty hungry to win these last stretch of games. They are kind of in that play-in position. I think New York still has like a slim chance, but They're pretty much out of it. Charlotte coming off a close loss to Denver. That was super competitive. A lot of people like Denver in that game. But Hornets, man, they've been pretty scrappy. LaMelo Ball is showing out. I did I took over on his points prop today. Prior to the Denver loss, they beat Brooklyn, they beat Utah. These are all notable wins. And prior to that, they did beat New York. So this is a quick turnaround revenge for New York. But man, I think as far as motivation goes, I think the Hornets will be more motivated to play here. And usually I have a decent read on this Hornets team. When they're on, they're usually on. You could tell in their ATS game log, they very streaky when it comes to ATS. So I think we're on a streak here. They've covered let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their last 9 games. So I like Hornets here at -3.5. I think if they cover by margin. You could see here when New York loses, they usually lose by margin. So that's one thing to keep a note. They did keep it close a couple times this month against Brooklyn and Memphis, but I like Hornets here. Not much more to add to that. I made it official. This will just be a 1-unit play, -3.5. Would I be shocked, man, if New York Knicks comes in here and slaps me in the face again, like Will Smith did Chris Rock? No, I wouldn't be. But I have to take the spot here. I can't be scared. Hornets is an official. Next game, we got Miami Heat going into Boston. Miami is taking points on the road at +5.5 right now. Boston's been on a fucking roll, guys. We did cash taking Boston at Toronto last game. Nice little cash, although it was kind of sketch because we made the pick prior to the Brown news. Boston's coming into this game 39-34 ATS. And real quickly, guys, I forgot. Let's for the Charlotte game, let me read off the tickets and money. I totally forgot about that. Charlotte is taking 64% of the tickets, 66% of the money. So the tickets and the money is aligned with the Hornets. Knicks are 36-34. So I think that's expected. All right, moving on to this game. Boston, the 39-34 ATS. They are 4-1 their last 5, 73 their last 10. These guys are on a roll. I think Brown and Tatum, they are expected to play today, so they are coming off a loss, but prior to that, man, they've been smashing teams. Big win, double-digit victories against Minnesota, Utah, Denver, Sacramento, Golden State. They're just killing it right now. Their winning streak did end the last game though, but that was without Tatum and Brown. Miami, on the other hand, 41-34 ATS coming into this game, 1-4 their last 5, 2-8 their last 10. These guys were in shambles before this Kings game, but when we capped this Heat versus Kings game, I was actually leaning the Heat because it's a strong bet on spot to take a team on their last game on the homestand, coming off a loss, and they've literally lost every game in this homestand until the last one. And for this situation, you usually also want is usually a good fade spot for a team to go on the first game on the road after a long homestand. So this is a situation Miami's in. But there is an exception here. Miami has come off a terrible homestand. They finally got the win. And to myself, I wanted to stay off Miami until I see that they've turned it around. And that's why I didn't play them against the Kings. But that was a get-right game. Now they're going on the road. That doesn't necessarily mean it should be a flat spot for them. They should be motivated here. And it might be better for an environment change since they have been losing at home. I took Miami +5.5. I'm pretty sure this is a contrarian play here. But one key thing that led me to take Miami in this spot is Robert Williams is out. He was out last game, and these are the type of players, when they're out of the rotation, it doesn't impact the line as much as if a star player like Tatum or Brown is ruled out. And I think Robert Williams is just as impactful as those players, at least on the defensive end. I think I think there is value taking Miami here. I expect this to be a playoff atmosphere game, low scoring. So if you're gonna give me 2 possessions with Miami Heat in a low scoring game where I can see it's competitive, I'm gonna take Miami here. It's gonna be for 1 unit. Tyler Hero is also back, and he was back for, I believe, the Brooklyn game, and so he's settling in now. I like Miami here. First game on the road, they got the win that they needed to get right, and I expect them to keep this competitive with Boston and a chance for them to win outright. I expect them to win outright. I don't like taking underdogs, who I don't think they're going to win the game straight up. I do think Miami has a chance, and I think they will here. So I like Miami. I'm taking the points plus 5.5. As far as the tickets and money goes, let's see. Miami is holding, the tickets are pretty much even. 49% on Heat, 51% on the Celtics. But Miami seems to have the big bets with 60% of the cash, and Celtics holding 40% of the cash. So big bets, maybe sharp money on Heat. I'm with them on that. I like the Heat here, plus 5.5. That is official. May not be a popular pick, but I like the spot here. Okay. Let's see if chat. Danny says F the Knicks. Fading Boston is a no-go. I get it. Miami won't be able to score today. I like Bam points, though. I get it. I know it's not going to be popular. I like the Bam points, too, without Robert Williams in the front court. But, I mean, it's a huge piece for Boston, guys. It really is. Tice is good. I'm high on Tice as a defender. But I expect Miami to bring their defense, and it's kind of what they're known for. And then Hero will keep the offense more fluid. So now we got Minnesota going into Toronto here. Toronto is laying minus 2.5 at home, and I have Toronto as official play minus 2.5. A lot of people that I respect in the handicap world like Minnesota in the spot, and I get it. Toronto is 42 and 32 ATS for the season, 3-2 the last 5, 7-3 the last 10. This Toronto team's on a roll, guys. They did keep it close against Boston, but we faded Toronto in the spot, took Boston because of several reasons. We wanted to fade a team off a blowout win, and the fact that Toronto sometimes could overlook these bottom tier teams. Not saying that Boston is, but they were with without their star players, so I kind of believe that Toronto would overlook these guys. Toronto, this would be their, I believe, last game on this homestand, and usually is a strong bet on for me. Yep, this would be their last one before going on the road. So I like Toronto here. There's no look ahead. They play Magic the next game. And their level of competition lately, look, they play Boston, Cleveland, Chicago, Philly, and a couple of garbage teams in between. Minnesota, on the other hand, they come in here 41-33 ATS, 2-3 the last 5, 6-4 the last 10. Minnesota just come off a huge L, big loss, 22-point deficit against Boston. And we had Boston in that spot. So I've been having decent reads on both these teams. Minnesota does do well off a loss. Let's look at their ATS trends. And I'd like to also point, this would be, I think this would be maybe a revenge game, I believe, for Minnesota. I think Toronto has beat these boys the game prior. Yeah, it looks like they defeated Minnesota back in February, so this is a revenge game for Minnesota. Let's see here real quickly before I forget. Minnesota holds 52% of the tickets and 63% of the money, so tickets are pretty even, but Minnesota is holding more of the bigger tickets, big bettors, maybe sharp money. Situationally, Minnesota, I believe, is pretty good off the loss. So 20-12 ATS off a loss, 20-18 on the road. As an underdog, they're 7-18. As a away underdog, 11-12. So as an away underdog or underdog in general, they don't play that well in that role with a below 500 record ATS wise. As far as rest advantage goes, I believe both these teams have equal rest. Oh no, actually, Minnesota does have the rest advantage. They're 11-5 ATS with the rest advantage. But I like Toronto here, guys. This home crowd is wild, man. They're gonna get up for this game. It's gonna be huge. I think the price is a good price for this Toronto team who's been playing super well. And if we look at it, the last time these guys played each other back in March 15th, Toronto was an underdog on the road and they beat Minnesota straight up. Toronto has beat Minnesota 4 out of the 5 last meetings and covered 4 out of the 5 of those meetings. So historically, Toronto does have the Wolves' number, but the Wolves should be motivated to play this. They're kind of in that play-in situation as well, but so is Toronto. I told myself once OG gets back, I'm going to find spots where I could buy Toronto, and I think this is a great spot. Last game on the homestand, getting a really good price. Maybe I could see it being competitive, but I think Toronto could pull out here by more than 2 possessions. So I made this official. Refs -2.5. This is for 1 unit. All right, got one more game here, guys. Let's see chat real quick before we get to the last game. I like to read on the Raps. Horford will start. Oh yeah, back to the injuries. For the Raps, who's injured? Malik Beasley's out. Yeah. Oh, actually, he was out last game. I'm not sure if he's playing this game, but otherwise, I think everyone's pretty healthy for this game, guys. Yeah, I feel like both teams will be equally motivated to win this. I just think Toronto at their current form, having OG back, there is value in that price. I think they're just a better team right now. And the home advantage is strong for Toronto, guys. All right, let's move on. This is Memphis Grizzlies going into San Antonio. The Grizzlies are laying 5 on the road, guys. I made this official. Grizzlies -5 for 1.5 units. I thought this line would be a little bit wider. The -5 almost seems trappy, but now that I look at it, maybe the Spurs are getting some respect as they've actually been covering games lately, guys. They've won their last 4. They're coming into this game 37-37 ATS, 3-2 their last 5, 4-6 ATS the last 10. Big wins over nobody. They beat Houston, New Orleans, Portland, Golden State. All these teams I'm kind of low on outside of New Orleans. I'm high on these guys, but otherwise there's no notable wins for the Spurs. Even prior to those 4 wins, they got blown out for New Orleans, so you could say maybe that was a revenge spot for them. But man, these Spurs, I'm not high on them. I think the public perception is that this team is actually maybe not good, but better than average, and I think they're either average or even below that. So looking at the price, maybe considering Spurs have been playing better as of late, we get a pretty cheap price against a Memphis team. Maybe they don't believe these guys without Morant still, guys. I don't know. I know a lot of people are finding ways to fade these guys, but they are straight rolling. Memphis is coming in here with the best ATS record, 50-26 ATS, 5-0 their last 5, 7-3 the last 10. We cashed a ticket back in Memphis against Golden State. That one was easy. Prior to that, big wins over Milwaukee, Brooklyn, and then a bunch of trash teams in between. But yeah, I'm all on Memphis today, guys. This was almost a max play for me, but I did get burnt by San Antonio 2 games in a row. So maybe I have a bad read on these guys, but man, I got to go with the Memphis here. at a short number. It's crazy. I don't get it. As far as injuries go, let's see who's injured. Jaren Jackson is questionable. That was as of this morning, but I don't see why he wouldn't go. I think everyone's pretty healthy on the Spurs. Dylan Brooks has been balling out. No one talks about him since he's gotten back. This Grizzlies team they're plug and play for me, guys. These guys, they play so well together. They're young. They like to run. Super efficient. Melton, there's so many ballers on this team. Memphis right now holds 74% of the tickets, but only 25% of the money. This is bizarre. It makes me think, like, are we missing something? Are we missing something, guys? I don't know, man. This is kind of, I'm not too worried because I don't get the love with the Spurs. A couple key notes here. The Spurs, would be the Spurs' first game at home after the 4-game road trip. And this is a big plus EV fade spot for me. I like fading the team on their first home game off a road trip. And plus the road trip was a successful one. We're talking about they played so well in that road trip. And they played a list of bad teams, and to me, Spurs are a bad team. So I think we get a lot of value on this Memphis line. Although Memphis, this is their first game on the road after a 4-game homestand, which is another spot where we usually would like to fade teams. But Memphis, they've broken they've broken tons of betting systems and theories at this point, guys. So I'm not going against Memphis. I'm actually going to take them here at the -5. This is my probably favorite look out of all the picks. But seems a little bit trappy, but I'm not scared. I mean, it's either Memphis blows these boys out or Memphis loses straight up. That's really the only way I can see it, because when Memphis wins, they win by margin, guys. They won by 28, 25, 30, 12, 24, 33 in their last 6. Prior to that, a couple squeaky wins against OKC in New York. But otherwise, guys, all season, these guys have been winning by margin. So I don't see how they don't take care of business here against Spurs team who has been overperforming against really bad teams. So that's what I got. Let's see what else. If no one has any questions about this game, we can briefly, if you guys want to briefly go through any other games. Let's see if I think Melton slows down. You know what, he probably will. Melton will probably slow down, but bro, they got so many ballers on this team. I'm not worried. They got Zaire Williams, they got Jaren Jackson. There's so many ballers on there. Bane, Dylan Brooks, all these guys can step in, and that's what we learn from the Memphis Grizzlies this year. Someone gets injured, guys step up and take care of business. Best wagon to ride today is Celtics. Ooh, man. All right, man, we might be going heads up. I get it, though. I get it. The reason why I'm fading Celtics today is Robert Williams, man. I think it's a huge impact to their defense. Okay, let's look at the Suns. You want to take a look at the Suns real quick? All right, let's take a look at the Suns. I got about like 5-10 minutes. Suns. Okay. Suns are laying 5 or 4.5 on the road, dude. This game seems fishy because we got a full healthy Suns going against Golden State, who have been atrocious. Golden State's coming back home after this long road trip. They've only won 1 game, and that was against Miami. Otherwise, they've lost straight up and ATS. They were laying some big numbers on this road trip too. There was a -7.5 against Orlando. They lost straight up. -7 against Washington. We had Washington there. They lose that straight up. And they got blown out by Memphis as expected. Phoenix, on the other hand, these guys have been rolling, guys. Phoenix is 42-33 ATS for the season. One of the best ATS records. 4-1 their last 5. 8-2 their last 10. I mean, there's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't take the Suns here. there's really no reason. This is why I kind of stayed off it, guys, because this seemed really too easy for me. I can read off the tickets and the money right now. The Suns are holding 79% of the tickets, 90% of the money. Let me check if this is a televised game, guys. This is on ESPN TV, so I think this game is televised. This is one of those spots, guys, that don't be surprised if Golden State wins this straight up. I will let you guys know this. Following a 5-game road trip, coming back home usually is a fade spot, but it really depends if the team coming off this road trip had a successful one or a terrible one. In this case, Golden State has a terrible road trip coming back home. So usually the first game home is a bet on spot, especially the last game they got blown out. So they come in here, first game at home, they should be motivated to play. But as far as the standings go, and this is the reason why I wouldn't play Warriors here, is because Steve, they have really nothing to play for. They want to make sure their players are healthy. There's no reason for them to try to really win this. And maybe you could say the same for the Suns. They've locked in that first seed, but these boys don't let up, man. They still want to play hard. They want to carry this momentum to the playoffs. So easy stay away for me. But if I was forced to play this, guys, I would have to go the Warriors, taking that plus 5.5. When the books open this number, man, this is fishy as hell. It's like they were begging everybody to take the Suns here. Like, you could set this line at -7, and I guarantee you that the money would still dump on the Suns. So when they set it at -5, it is very fishy. Injuries, JaVale McGee's out. Otherwise, everyone has a clean bill of health. Thompson was resting last game. He's back in. Draymond Green, I believe, was resting last game. He's back in. So those guys will be a little fresher. So although Phoenix does have the rest advantage, Golden State's main guys, Thompson and Green, they'll be fresh. So that's what I got on that game. Yeah. I would just be careful for those loading up on the Suns today. Just be careful, guys. It's a 7:00 game. Wait, is it? Yeah, it's the last. Is it? Oh, dude, it's the last game on the slate, nationally televised. Doesn't remind you of last night with the Jazz on the road. What are we doing, guys? I mean, geez, I just want to go full control. You know what, guys? No, because I have no reason to back the Warriors in this spot. Because if the Suns blow these guys out, it just looks stupid. But if there's a spot to go contrarian on today, it would be with the Warriors. And trust me, guys, this is a big slate. People will be chasing their losses by the end of the night, figuring out which team they can try to win all their money back. And they'll see that the Suns are laying -5.5 against the Warriors, who have covered one game in the last 7. You don't tell me their people are not going to be putting a lot of money on the Suns tonight. Just careful, guys. I don't read into these things too much, but nothing is ever this easy in the NBA. Otherwise, if you guys don't want to check out, I mean, there weren't much more games that I was interested in. I kind of leaned the Kings as a road favorite against Houston, but definitely not going to get there because Houston has been playing better. Instead, I decided to take Davion Mitchell 21.5 points for that game. Bunch of stay away games. Orlando, Washington, that game's ugly. Denver, Indiana, no business with that. Atlanta, OKC, I don't want no business with that. There's a bunch of like really bad tanking teams playing today, and I just want no business with those teams. So that's it, guys. Just a quick recap on my official plays. I have the Cavs +2 at home. Like the Cavs in the spot. I think they'll be more motivated than the Mavs. Mavs will be missing Dinwiddie. Cavs are missing Mobley. I like the Cavs here. Mavs last 5 on the road. They're 1-4 ATS, so I like this spot. Next game I have Charlotte Hornets. I took them laying the 3.5 on the road against the New York Knicks. I have one unit. Now this, guys, I don't want to jinx myself. Maybe I won't talk too much about this, but I like the Hornets here. They've been playing so well, and they'll be motivated here given that they are in that play-in tournament mix, and really the Knicks are just out of it. They're done. I like them here. Get some value in the line as the Knicks came off a couple of ATS victories and straight-up wins. So I like the Hornets. Next game we made official. I took the Heat plus 5.5. This is probably a unpopular pick, but I like the Heat in this spot. I think the Robert Williams injury is bigger, is big, and I think this is a kind of a playoff atmosphere game. Going to be very competitive, low scoring. So if I predict this to be lower scoring, plus 5.5 is a lot of points. I took the Heat here, hoping that they turned it around after that big get right spot against the Kings and Hero getting back to groove. I took the Heat here, plus 5.5. This is a 1 unit play as well. We took the Raps here at minus 2.5. I believe this is a 1.5 unit play for me. I like the Raps. Last game on their homestand, they've been rolling. Minnesota coming off that double-digit loss. They should be motivated to play here as well. Both these teams should be motivated as far as playoff standing goes. So both these games, this game is important to both of them. But I think this is a great price for the Raps, who've been playing so good. I took them here at minus 2.5 for a unit and a half. In the last play of the day, guys, we just broke this game down. Love the Grizz here. Man, it's so close to making this max play, but very hesitant just because we've got burnt by Spurs 2 games in a row. So I like the Grizz here. They should blow these guys out. I took them at minus 5, and this is a 1.5 unit play as well. And that's all, guys. Late night stream today. I don't know. I think these day streams might work a little better, but just keep the Discord open. I'll let you guys know in there, and good luck today, guys. Again, bet responsibly. Take this information and ultimately make your own decisions. Just trying to help you guys out by letting you know my thoughts and my angles. So good luck today. Let's cash. This is a big slate, but only have 4 or 5 picks. That's plenty of picks. I feel pretty good about it. Quickly, I didn't post this on Twitter yet, but I have a couple point props that I've already locked in. I have Davion Mitchell for the Kings over 21.5 points. I have Dylan Brooks over 19.5 points. I have Andrew Wiggins under 16.5 points. LaMelo Ball over 21.5 points. And these are a couple personal parlays that I took. I took Cavs and Hornets money line on a 2-leg. Then I did Cavs, Grizzlies money line on a 2-leg, and then Grizzlies, Raptors on a 2-leg parlay. So I got 3 parlays, all 2 legs each. Kind of a round robin, but not really. Just the 2-leggers. Otherwise, guys, have a good one. Again, don't go crazy today. It's a big slate, and just be careful with that Suns game. I'm not trying to talk anyone off betting the Suns. I'm just saying, guys, they're holding 90% of the money. Last game on the slate, nationally televised. The line looks sketchy as hell. So there's that. All right, guys, peace out. Have a good one.